touching somebody that matters. Clear?
After they break their minds, so then they like just
Rosenberg is our hospital student.
No, you were a war boy. You're a weapon.
Everyone's okay?
Some guy that sees football.
That's terrific. Glad to hear your voice. See that? Just wanted to talk to you. Mr. Mills? What? Mr. Mills?
This is how Cooper sees his life. Hello, Harold Cooper. Status quo. How are you doing here? You came out of curiosity.
Or maybe I asked to hear that.
Your government is being robbed.
Here? How?
What's up, brother?
I don't know what that is.
It's a blackmail file. Proof of the existence of an extraordinarily powerful clandestine organization. If their activities are made public, some of the most powerful and influential men go to prison or be executed.
Here? This is Fulcrum.
No, the Fulcrum isn't here. I believe the information critical to finding it is. That's what Braxton wants. But I'm here to stop it.
I can help you.
No, you need to leave.
Braxton and Sawara have been taken hostage.
You shouldn't be here. Never should have come here.
What even did come to us? Why aren't you telling me? Why don't you?
I'll get to wrestling tomorrow as soon as I can, but you need to get back on that.
Not without wrestling or you. How are we going to stop Braxton? He has an entire team.
Well, sadly, there isn't a prison on earth where I don't know if you guys.
Braxton wants to access the secret out of us. This
But during the lockdown.
Like it's up. Shut down locations. Security protocols under the entire server room. Oh, you know that. I didn't know that.
I was working on a separate prison. The gate.
The server.
Almost quarters, basements. I'll get you inside.
Jim.
He has an idea.
Push. Is this good? She's your idea.
It's okay. It's considerable. If you can get it, the big program is over. Pressure equals exposure. You take out several. If you're unlucky, you're prison crates.
If you could get there.
Yes, no aim to the point of the single air duct. It's less than 24 inches square.
It's like on the tunnel rest.
All right. Gary and I are waiting for you to let us in. We'll reprogram the system.
What about me? What's my job?
You don't have a job. You're here because of what your cartel with Felix Morales and Ricky Reynoso. Okay, should we go to work?
Thanks, sir. Let me find this.
I'm sorry, the warden can't get to the phone right now, man. Please take a message. Nothing? Not a hello? How are you? Say something, Luther. Bennington. That's me. I like that, right? I have complete control over this hell. I'm confident you could have whatever you imagine this scenario. But it's the scenarios you can't imagine that bite you in the ass, Luther. Like me here. Something that's snuck up on me. After Belgrade. Belgrade. Boy, things got nasty in Belgrade, didn't they? It's funny. Up until that point, Davis, North 90, but after that became known as the man of best of the day. They made a good investment with her. You butchered and clawed your way into my pockets, and innocent people died in the process. You're such a snob, Ray. Always considered yourself above the fray. You had suits and fancy wine, private jets. Do you even drive? We got everybody convinced you're so hard, bro. But I know better. You're soft. You're not getting the fulcrum. Why are you gonna stop me, right? Bore me to death with Beethoven. Put me to sleep. Put me nature. And it gets now. But in order to stop, you gotta have balls. You gotta run the gauntlet. And after Belgrade, that's just not gonna happen. You tell me, how are you gonna stop me, Ed? A wise man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer. Is that Nietzsche? No. Bruce Lee.
Son has an abdominal wound. He's going to die. Lamanafa wa aslaha ajruhu. Allah, Allah. Arjuk. Let him down. Damn it, let him down.
Okay, Harold, let's test your reflexes. The guy failure to put it to lockdown, meaning that all existing codes around this prison have been invalidated. You're aware of that? Good. And you must also be aware that one single code has been generated by the mainframe. A master code giving the CIA and any rescue units all access. I want it. Understood. And get my people working on that right away. Okay. Your reflexes, Harold? Shabby. Mine, however, lightning quick. You just cost an innocent woman her life, which means we'll just have to go get ourselves another one. Let me set the scene for you, just like the old radio dramas your granny used to listen to. I'm standing in front of a tall, fit, very attractive first girl by the name of Samara Nababi. Maybe you're familiar with her. Anyway, Miss Nababi has a noose around her neck, a very long, lovely neck, which is about to get a lot longer unless you give it a code. I'll give you 10 minutes.
We're gonna get the code, right? Sir, I'm sorry, but you have to get the code. It's a black site. Nobody will know we're negotiating. I'm sorry, but we're gonna get the code. I'm not allowing that maniac to lynch one of my agents.
You can't give him the code.
I know the protocol. The minute that negotiator got here, he gave me all the relevant details on the factory, including the master code. Why wouldn't I give it to him?
Braxton doesn't want the code to break on prison. He wants it to break into our network.
What network?
Factory isn't just a black site. It's a level 6 intelligence node. It communicates directly with Langley, the Pentagon, and White House Sit Room. The intel being squeezed out of these targets, our highest level targets, is mission critical. We needed our interrogators and our operatives in the field working together in real time. So we removed any latency between the time we received a lead and our ability to act on it.
The nexus of the country's most sensitive data in a prison. The country's most dangerous enemies.
Yes. Which is why I am asking you, do not release that code.
Sorry. That's my building. Cooper,
The code.
if I give it to you, what assurance do I have that no hostages will be harmed?
None. Code. Did you hear that sound, Harold? That's the sound of the agent in the Bobby's neck being broken.
Stop.
The code.
Dallas, Foxtrot, 1 Charlie 372. Now look. Braxton. Stop.
What's this gonna do to happen, huh?
You don't make enough accusation. Swear. I got this now. FBI, attempt them a lesson.
Je. Il love Gregory.
We're ready here.
Look at the server room.
How are you? You want systems back online? I have to tap this from every end. Once Braxton reboots the servers, his end will have full access to the intelligence network. How do we lock them up? We can't. Not without taking the switch to the entire network, and Braxton knows we won't do that. What does it do? Idea of these satellites shutting down. Temporary loss of real-time field communications. So some kind of good work. Assuming we can get authorization to do that, it'll take hours to shut it down.
Okay, once you make that last turn, it's sort of about 10 more feet. You'll see a vent there going south.
Yeah, it's here.
Follow that north.
Braxton, you're in. Dallas, Bucks, number 1, Charlie 372. You all right?
Yeah.
You sure? Ever heard of Bruno Ashmanskas? The most skilled cat burglar I've ever had the pleasure of working with. You know, mostly the job's on commission, but he always wanted to do something for himself, something special. So he got into his head that he was going to break into the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge, this field of imperial vase from the Qing dynasty worth millions, the single biggest trophy of his career.
What happened?
I never heard from him again. I always assumed he'd succeeded, that he's sipping some umbrella-clad cocktail on a beach in Tahiti until 5 years later, during a remodel of the Fitzwilliam, they removed the wall. There was more Bruno. What was left of him anyway? Stuck inside a heating duct. Still clutching that vase. I prefer to think of old Bruno on that beach in Tahiti. We have a problem. What?
Our accidents currently being extended reach. It appears Braxton's team has penetrated the country network.
Do they have confirmation on what it is they're looking for?
Yes, we do. Before.
So Bennington does not have it.
I never believed he did, actually. His efforts to stop Braxton only confirmed my suspicions.
What's up the lateral exposure?
Honestly, none. We are mirroring Braxton's search algorithms, and if the fulcrum comes into play, we will find it.
So Mr. Braxton is a liability.
Noted. Mr. Reddington may no longer be a threat. We haven't touched him for fear that he'd use the fulcrum as well to expose us. He's bluffing.
You can't be sure of that. Ali Fitch did not think so.
Whether he is or not, it's a moot point.
He needs to be eliminated.
This prisoner was the factory. I understand the American public is unaware of its existence. Perhaps they would not notice if it were to disappear.
How much longer? Without a setback, Ernest was working on alternatives.
I'm telling you, there are no other options. As well as redundant computerized safeguards. If I attempt to overpressurize the boiler tank, those safeguards keep it automatic.
There's nothing you can do to override it.
It has to be done manually. That means someone standing here, resetting those pressure relief valves every 90 seconds, while someone else mans the temperature controls. Since this pressure is 700 psi. That is not going to be me.
You're not going anywhere. Yeah. Across the United States, he had to do this man. It's going to be blown in pieces. Or just one.
Wait, we shoot him, they'll hear, it'll be here within 60 seconds, and then what? We can do this. You and I. After the pressure reaches 700, how long do we have until it explodes?
Anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds. Because there's no way to know for sure. You're better off walking away now.
Look, you're not that off to Delhi do anything for you. The truth is, you'd be lucky to get off the street, and whatever your plan is, I'm not part of it. To tell you, I've done my piece, where I see it, we're even with them.
We can do this.
If we don't stop this, the control isn't going to be in the business, it's going to be in the house. And the world is going to look quite different. With Braxton in control of all our surfers. Every operative, every analyst, every case officer in his pocket. And Mr. Cooper has given him the keys to our kingdom. We have to make sure he never has the chance to use them.
We have federal agents on site. Buy no more time. Let me activate an extraction team.
I've just ordered the strike.
Yes, sir. No planes in the air within an hour. Target will be destroyed.
Sir, you gotta see this. I just got confirmation that 2 F-22s were scrambled out of Wright-Patterson. They seem to be headed toward the factory. ETA to target. 24 minutes. Get tactics in. Now. Braxton, accessing information now. One. Two.
650 PSI. Keep more at the boiler boils.
So when are you gonna tell me the truth?
The truth,
About why you put the blackmail file in the phone book?
I can't allow Braxton to get us.
Why? What difference does it make to you if he gets it and exposes this?
Cabal.
The group believes I have it. One of the reasons I'm still alive.
So if Braxton gets it, they'll know you don't have it and they'll kill you. So.
It's a number.
680. So that's what this is about, this whole thing. Protecting yourself.
It may be hard for you to imagine, but I was at a relatively normal life. Bills to pay, play dates, families, friends, people to care about. I lost all that.
Lost how?
In Mexico, there are these fish that have colonized the freshwater caves along the Sierra de Agua. They were lost without sea darkness. But they didn't die, instead they thrived. They adapted. They lost their pigmentation, their sight, eventually their eyes. It's survival they became hideous. I rarely thought of what I once was. I wonder if a ray of light would have made it into the cave, but I didn't see it. But I gravitate towards lights. And if I did, could I become less hideous? I didn't follow me here. The truth is, if I don't start Braxton, we will discover he said he can't get the full without you.
Why, good morning, Father Son. No. Golly gee was it this. Indeed, indeed. There you go. Indubitably. Well, chilly willy, but sunny. Yeah, you have previously. Yes. Yes, indeed. We just reused them. On occasion. On occasion. And yeah. Now that you know you can bring it out and do it during commercial break easy. Oh, I've got plenty of pieces of cards now. I'm just trying to figure out where the pieces of cards that I actually want are. Which can be a challenge. Found one piece, now I just gotta find the parts. So, yes, Monday. I know. That could be. No. Oh, can't have that. Well, what the heck? All right, well, yeah, I actually have a student coming through on my Zoom screen, so I'm gonna cut this short, but I will call you this evening. Love you too, Dad. Bye.
Hello?
Hello, just a second. I was pulling up the program so I could share screen with you, so the Zoom was off me. How you doing, Beanie?
Good, how
Hello?
are you?
Pardon?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So you were having some issues with the robot maze. Let me open up my share
Yes.
screen and I will. Da, da, da. All right, so let's get down to, oops, wrong one. One, 5. All right, so let's see what we got here. The code that they gave you, oh shoot, probably should have brought up yours. All right. So I guess where were you running into problems, and I can find where to point you. Are you hearing me? Beanie?
When it was like trying to do looping,
When it was like what, honey? All right, Beanie, I'm having a problem with your audio. Can you hear me? All right. All right, can you hear me on the chat? Beanie, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Beanie?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, were you able, I didn't hear the area you said you were starting to have problems with.
It was when it was looping, like when you had to make a loop for the robot to move up and then turn to the right to reach the maze for the first one.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Let me pull up the share screen again. Bum, ba-dum. All right, so this is the screen that you guys started with. And right here is where everything is always the same. Import the turtle as turtle. What we've changed is we are making predefined functions. That's what that def is representing, defined function or a defined method. And these are the little chunks of code that we can use over and over again. So we don't have to type robot.10, robot.forward over and over and over again. Okay, so that's consolidating our code even before we start using loops. We also have our starting position on the canvas set up and the height and width of our canvas set up. This is all stuff that you don't have to worry about. The robot image and its shape and its color, these are all set in for you. Where you first have to start adding in some code is here. And where you change it for maze 2 and maze 3, where it says here maze 1, all you have to do is change it to maze 2 when you're ready to add different code. Or maze 3, and it's already in there, it'll do it. Now, down here in the red is the while loop pattern that you're going to be working with. And it is in red because it has been commented out with paragraph comment, the three quotation marks. Once I take those out, just like the hashtag turns this green for each line, the 3 quotation marks will start a chunk and don't let it affect any of the procedures or what the computer does, and then end it. So all loops are going to start with our counter, which in this case is I, which is a very standard from 40 years ago when I first started doing computer science. I has been a counter. It's always nice to give it a meaningful name, but I is pretty standard. And we initialize it. And then here with our while statement, which is always going to need a colon afterwards, this is going to be where we tell it how many times to go through. So if we initialize it to 0, and then we test it to see if it's less than 3, that means we want it to go through the loop, do whatever those instructions are 3 times, because I is equal to 0, it's less than 3. We're going to add 1 to it. Now we've got I equals 1. It's less than 3. And 2. It's less than 3. Until we get to where I equals 3. I is not less than 3, so we jump out and we're done with whatever's in that loop. Well, what is in this loop that we want to have happen 3 times? The move. So when we run it, you see in here in our canvas that our robot started here and we told it to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's what's here. 2, 3. You with me so far?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to, let's move our cursor back. I
Yes.
equals 0. I'm reinitializing it. And then I'm going to put in another while. And this one's going to be for our left turn. And I should say a right turn. For our right turn, and we can only use the left turn command. That was the trick for practicing loops. If we want it to equal a right turn, you turn left 3 times. And so once again, we're going to have the test where I is less than 3 so that we move 3 times. And this is going to be the bad typing, give me. All right. And with a while loop, whoops, and it's not going to work because I didn't put the colon there. Okay, there we go, colon. Now it'll work. All right, you want to have the indent. Because we're going to be counting, you want to always do the counter, and the plus equal is the same as saying I equals I plus 1. You could do it either way. And now we're going to do the turn left. And make sure my code is correct so you can. Now, we don't know if I turned left, but I haven't gotten any errors. How do we check to see if I've turned left? Well, or turned right, I should say. 3 lefts equals a right. How do we know? Well, what we do is we come back. Oops, sorry. And we do a move. And we should see it move, if I did it correctly, to here. So let's see if it runs that way. Up 3. No, it doesn't. Because I did that outside the loop. That's what I meant. All right. If I take this, I did it in the loop. That's why it did that crazy stuff. Now I'll do the move outside the loop. There we go. Now we know it works because it went this way. Because I know it works, I can now do another move. The assignment asks you to get it to the destination. There's lots of ways you can do it. You could go all the way to the top, which would be move it forward 4, turn right, and move another 4 to get to the gray. So we would change the values and still want that to be there. So we want it to move again. And for each while loop, you have to have the counter reinitialized. And while that is less than, and how many do we have to go? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move it 4. And always increment plus equal 1 and move. Spell correctly. All right, that should take me from here up to here, and then go across, but I think I only want to go 3 since it's not touching. And let's see what happens. There we go. So I made it go up and made it go here, stopping at the end of the maze. Well, you want to look at a new maze. We're going to change that. See where I am up here at the red with the maze. And this is already pre-entered into our trinket. If I use the same code, we see that that's not going to work. It takes us back to the same exact spot, but it takes us through where we're not allowed to go. These are all obstacles that we need to avoid. So instead of going forward here, we're going to turn right, which is using our turn right while loop. And then we're going to move forward 1, 2, 3, using our move with 3 as our value of blocks that we're going to move. Then what do we need to do once we're here? You tell me, Beanie. All right, Beanie, you're muted. Beanie, you there?
Hello?
Okay, I wasn't hearing you. Okay, did you see the difference between the maze 1 and maze 2 with the same exact code? Hello? All right. So instead of going up and then turning right using our moves and our turn right procedure, we're going to change the code so that the robot here using the maze 2 image starts here, goes to here, which would be forward 3.
Hello?
Hello, are you there? You're back again? Hello. All right, so what I was saying was instead of going here to here, I want to start here and come here. What's the first thing I would need to do?
Would you turn, when you're going forward, wouldn't you turn like backwards? Or,
Well, I'm showing you the image from the maze 1 code where we had
yeah,
the forward where it went straight up. Now, we don't want to do that this time. This time we want to start here in the same spot, but go here first. How would I accomplish that?
so instead of, would you go backwards?
Well, no. We want it to go in this direction, which isn't backwards. What's the first thing we have to tell
Would you
the,
make it turn right?
yes, absolutely. So we've got our turn right. And this is one of the points of having the pre-made procedures and then reusing them. I am going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. And now I've got to turn right immediately. Once I've turned right, now what do I want to do? So now my robot is facing like this. Now what do I want to do? The robot is now facing this away. What do I want to do? So with the chunks that I have here, following your suggestion that we turn right, now I move forward 3, and it did. It moved forward 3. Now this next piece of code says turn right again, which is why you see it going down here. How do we need to change that? Because we want to go this way. Just throw in a turn left, and it'll switch the movement here. And I will take out the
So
turn.
you want to go, do you want to go towards the, like the gray square from the right side or the left side?
In this particular for maze 2, you're going to go in both directions, but I wanted to show you the difference in.
Wouldn't it be moved forward?
All right, give me a second. I'm blocking out that next piece of code. Come on. Ay, chinelas. All right, so this code says we're going to turn right. We know that worked because we move forward and we go forward 3. Bum, bum, bum. In the original code, there was another right. I changed that to a left, and I took out the right turn. And now I'm going to move 3 from here. Now I'll show you how that visualizes. Right. So we start here. We did the right turn. We know that works because we were able to go forward 3 right here. We took out the right turn and changed it just to a plain old basic left turn. And we know that worked because we have a move with a move forward 3 here. How would, or what would our next step be? Or how do we need to modify? Or do we need to modify anything to call this part of the code completed for finding the gray square?
Wouldn't you want it to face the square?
That is very possible. And how would we accomplish that? Would we have them turn right, turn left, or go
Hello,
forward?
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello?
Would you make it turn left by
Well, then
turn left?
let's see if that works. Ay, chinelas. Okay, fine. I will paste it there and then I will move it. All right, so we put in a new left turn. Let's see what we got. All right. And that one is there. The other half of this particular assignment is to go back the way we started and come up to here. But all you're using, Beanie, is the right turns in the while, the forwards in the while, and you will change how much forward it goes by the number you use here, and a turn left. So turn right, forward, left. Those are the only three methods, three procedures that you need in order to accomplish any of the movements for the robot. Now, as you get to the assignment, so maze 1, check that you've got 3 while loops, and in the example I showed you at the very beginning, it was there. Then you change that image to maze 2, which is what I did right here. I changed it from maze 1 to maze 2. And there we go. And if you, inner and outer loops. One of them, you can use nested loops because there's repetition between the forwards and the rights. Don't have to, as long as you get there. Maze 3, you would change the name of the maze ping to maze 3. And you are going to go to both of the gray squares without changing or starting over. Like number 1 and 2, you have 2 different pieces of code. You're going to do it all in one piece of code, and you're going to use an outer loop and some nested loops and change a pen color. You always have these hints here, and you can come back and ask questions. Really easy to catch me with the Google Hangouts. I spend a lot more time checking that than I do my emails, frankly. But is that a little bit clearer? I can convert this and throw this up onto the slide for this week if you want to go back and review what I was going over when we were cutting in and out.
Yeah, okay.
All right. And like I said, Hangouts is really a lot easier for getting a hold of me quickly than the email. And I will put this, everything that I did, even while you were, I don't know if it was the Zoom or network or what, but I had this recording the whole time. So I will just throw it up there and you can go back and recheck what I was talking about.
Okay, thank you.
You are very welcome. You have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. Let me know if I can help you later, okay? All right, bye-bye. Adios.